All right, so we're here Monday. Everybody back to work, out here enjoying this weather. Guys, I'm telling you, if you work inside of an office, I feel bad for you today. It's beautiful out here. So, wanted to touch on a topic today that, man, it just has such a major impact on life. And every choice, every interaction, every experience, everything you have has to do with your personal character. Now, what this is for me is character, in my eyes, is defined as what you do when no one's watching. So if you're somebody out there that feels like you're not in control of your situation, first of all, you're wrong. Secondly, when we define character, we're talking about any situation in life. But those situations where you're only accountable to yourself, those are really those determining points in your life of what your character really is. It's easy to be fake in front of other people and change your actions because there's other people watching. But when nobody's there to judge how good of a job you did, or to see what the result is of whatever it is that you're working on, that's when you make that ultimate choice of how well you do something. Doing something or not, that's not usually the choice. It's, am I going to rush through this and just try to get through the project, or am I actually going to put a good effort into this and try to do my best? Those are kind of the more deep down choices that people have to make. And like I said, especially when nobody's there pushing you to do your best, to do it to your full potential. And I just wanted to share a little story that I was thinking about, and I think my wife is the only person I've ever shared this with, so it's maybe kind of a fun story for you guys. I remember, being a real little kid, and I didn't realize it was developing my character as who I become as an adult, but very, very large impact on me. Every time I ran into a situation where I was learning something new, especially learning something new, I don't know where this came from. It just kind of started happening for me as I would imagine myself in an Olympic event for whatever it is I was doing, whether it was writing my name or learning how to ride a bike or kissing a girl, whatever it may be. Okay, so I would imagine myself, not necessarily on a team, but at an Olympic event, and there's, commentators behind me and these people in my head that are literally judging me, that are saying, oh, look at the skill he has doing this specific scenario, and look at the method he did to do this. And it's just kind of weird, but this is what's always been in the back of my mind that has driven me to do my very, very best in any situation that I've run into. It's literally the character that I developed as a child with this internal motivation, this literal voice in my head that is like, some foreign Australian guys giving me commentary. I don't know, that's because I like soccer and there's a lot of foreign language commentators, but, that's just the image that goes into my mind whenever I'm learning a new skill or, trying to figure out how can I do well at whatever this thing is, okay? No matter how small it was. It wasn't, to actually be on a sporting team or anything like that. It was just anytime I run into a situation, I'm always trying to figure out, I guess that's the problem solver in me. How can I do this more efficiently? And at the same time, how can I show other people also how to do the same thing more efficiently? So first of all, every choice that we make starts with our own beliefs. What do we feel is acceptable for us? My acceptability level for performance may be different than somebody else. And so I hold myself to my own standard. It has nothing to do with anybody else. But that decision, that belief stems into how I think. And those thoughts and the emotions created by those thoughts are what really ends up determining the choices that we make. So if you don't start with a good belief system, you don't have anybody in your life reinforcing the fact that doing your best is important, not for everybody else, but for you. Because if you want to succeed in life, you can't put in a half-hearted effort on anything. You know, there's shortcuts for sure. There's better ways and more efficient options for things. And that's okay to look for those. But in the idea to try and perform better, not to get out of having to put out effort. So whatever it is you're going into in your situations on a daily basis, you know, stop and think, is this the best I can do? If there was somebody that was actually here recording this on video that I didn't know about, would I feel okay with them watching what I was doing? Put that person in the back of your head for yourself. You can call this subconscious, you can call it what you want, but if you literally have somebody, you know, to be accountable to, you know, it makes it easier. So if there's nobody around, create a friend. It's okay to have friends with yourself. You know, I mean, 75% of our talking during the day is talking to ourselves anyway. So just be accountable to yourself. Don't accept anything less than your best. Develop the character, and you can call this integrity, you can call it whatever you want, but it's your ability to make a key choice in the moment to give 100% regardless of what the situation is and who's watching and what the result is, you know, how it's gonna affect anybody else. So this is really, you know, a simple thing. Every choice that we get, that moment is when you make or break your own character. Starting as children, you know, we have to learn what's acceptable and what's not, and we test our limits. And so it's very important that as a parent, I push these things to my kids and have them understand that I want you to make every decision as though I'm standing there watching you, even if I'm not. Because if I'm standing there watching you and you can confidently say to yourself that the choice I'm making here would be okay if Dad was standing here watching you, it's going to push you to make a good choice in each decision you make. And so take that into your own life. Move that into your daily scenario of what you do. Imagine there's somebody there watching you. Imagine that you are accountable to somebody right now, and then make your choice on how well you're going to do something. That will push you to become a good person. If you're over the age of 25, this gets very difficult. Adults are pretty much set in who they're going to be by the age of 25, so it's not necessarily something that's easier for adults to do. So molding children with the proper beliefs and ideals, so much easier, guys. So definitely take this into account for your own life. Move this idea into your kids' heads. Help them become a good person with good character. We'll see you guys next time.